crack-a-lackin', my peoples. How you doing? It's a celebration. Wow, what an insane few months it's been. Yes, it is. There's finally some real movement and real traction on getting Trump the F out of office. Sorry I've been quiet for so long, unless you follow me on Twitter, but it's just been, I've been super depressed, man. I've been super depressed about the political situation, about all the hijinks and shenanigans. You got to take your moments where you can find them, and right now those moments are all around us, okay? This is just too sweet to be true in many ways. I think that the reason the Republicans are finally beginning to turn on Trump is because it's clear to them that he cannot last. It is clear and obvious to Republicans. It's even clear and obvious to Republicans that the country can't take another year and 3 months of this reckless lunatic and I could go on and on with the adjectives. So, but the Republicans are turning on him for several good reasons. Trump's indefensible decision to betray the Kurds, the people who fought with U.S. forces side by side against ISIS, while those Navy SEALs were sleeping in their cots, resting and recuperating. They were only able to do that because the Kurds sat on the walls of their compounds, keeping them safe. That's how tight the Kurds were. That's how tightly integrated in the U.S. military structure in Syria the Kurds were. They would literally guard our special forces operators while they slept. So Trump turning on the Kurds, big problem. More and more diplomats are coming forward, and they continue to confirm that there was a quid pro quo with Trump and the Ukraine. Donald Trump told the people of the Ukraine via their president that you better give me some dirt on this server. You better give me some dirt on the Bidens. And if you don't, you're not going to get this money. And the Ukraine is in an active shooting war right now as we speak. There's Russians occupying their territory, attacking their ships at sea, building bridges into their land. And Trump withheld $400 million in aid so that he could try to get Zelensky, the president of the Ukraine, to create a fake crap investigation against Joe Biden. And just quick side note here. Of course, Joe Biden and his son Hunter Biden were completely wrong. Are you kidding me? Hunter Biden got $50,000 a month for a no-show job as a director of a firm in the Ukraine, pulling down $600,000 a year in a business in which he had no abilities, no credentials, no experience. It's a joke, of course. But it was also legal. However, that doesn't mean that anyone should support that crap. Because Joe Biden is corrupt, because his son is corrupt, it allows people that are 1,000 times more corrupt, like Donald Trump and his clan, to say, oh, look at the Democrats. That's why it can't be allowed, even when it's legal. It was completely inappropriate for Joe Biden's son to take a $50,000 a month no-show job in a foreign country while his father was vice president. Completely wrong. And of course, the Trumps are literally 1,000 times worse. But look at what happens when there's corruption within the Dems. The Trumps get to talk about the relatively small, in terms of scale compared to the Trumps, the relatively small amount of corruption from the Democrats takes up half the news cycle. It can't be allowed. Yes, it was legal, and yes, it was wrong. So the net is Trump's done. The diplomats keep coming forward. He can't stop them. He said, well, you can't speak. Well, they're going forward and speaking anyway. That was a really important break in the wall when the U.S. ambassador to the EU, Sondland, came forward, was served with a subpoena and said, okay, I will respond now. Same thing with the U.S. Former ambassador to the Ukraine. Also yesterday, White House spokesman Mick Mulvaney confirmed the quid pro quo at a live press conference in front of the world. So you have the White House spokesperson confirming the quid pro quo happened, confirming it. And you have the diplomats coming forward, continuing to confirm that that this occurred. And then you have Trump's increasing meltdowns, plus his betrayal of the Kurds, plus the Ukraine, plus the open felony of trying to place the G7 at his crap cockroach bedbug infested and rat filled resort, the Doral Inn. And if you don't think that's true, if you think I'm just making that up, yeah, go online, read the reviews. He wants to put the world's leaders in a bed bug infested swamp in Florida because there's no other resort in the entire Americas that can possibly. This is open felony. This is open corruption. And this is exactly what happens when Trump is allowed to commit felony after 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 felony. And no one does anything. This is what happens when Nancy Pelosi sold us out and refused to impeach Trump on day fucking one. Day one. Out of your mind? Look at what's happened since January. Look at all the damage that Trump has done. And Pelosi was finally dragged into fixing this, kicking and fucking screaming. And as we go through this process, he gets worse and worse and worse. Donald Trump has never had a reckoning. It's finally coming. But the problem is he is a nuclear gorgon. Okay? He is a Moloch with access to nuclear weapons. And we have no idea what he will do in his death throes. Donald Trump is going out, y'all.
Like a dumb animal. Like a dumb animal. Like a dumb animal. I can't die out here in the woods.
His emergency, Trump declared an emergency in order to get all these funds to build his crap, not unbuilt border wall. Well, that was also ruled illegal this week in federal court, as was his attempted changes to immigration law. He's losing on all fronts. He is a tiny man on an ice cube in a pot of very hot water, and that ice cube is shrinking fast. It's not a question of if Trump goes out. It's only a question of when and how many of us he harms along the way and in his wake, in addition to the folks that he's already harmed. That's what's up. Holla back. Please subscribe to this cast. Follow me on Twitter, and I really appreciate y'all giving this a listen. I'll be back with another show sooner rather than later. I promise. More like a week instead of 4 months. Thanks, y'all all. That's it. And till then.